Again, my name is Jose Trujillo. I'm a fine art artist. I'm coming to you here from my art studio. Some random art studio I walked into. I'm coming here to you from my art studio, a corner where we package my work and on and on. Today I want to talk to artists again. Of course, I've been doing this series for artists. This is the one that I really it hits home with me because I thought about this for a long time. And this one's about being academically trained. Many artists believe that, do I need to be academically trained in order to be good? Because we have all these ideas of what good or bad art is, right? We have this. And many artists believe that if they're not, that they can't move forward. I was never academically trained. And then, oh, okay. Well, you're doomed. You can't do anything. If you're academically trained, there's nothing wrong with that. If you're not, there's nothing wrong with that either. If you're academically trained, man, you got more skills under your belt. It doesn't mean you're going to be the next big artist just because you're academically trained. Nor does it mean that because you're not, you don't have a shot. And vice versa, whatever. Don't let that stop you. Now, here's where many people go wrong. Okay, here's where many people kind of start doing the wrong thing. They just don't get it. Okay, here's where I come in. Many people think that especially artists starting out. This happens to musicians and to all the creatives. Okay, understood. Because I talk to all the creatives. Oh man, I don't have to be academically trained, right? Excuse me, I dropped my pen. I don't have to be academically trained. Yay, I can just do whatever I want. No. It doesn't, just because you're not academically trained doesn't mean you don't have to be trained. You have to train. Period. Whether you're academically trained or not, you have to train. That is the only path to be good is to train. So here's where I feel like artists fail. Some artists contact me and they're like, oh man, I want to paint. I love what you're doing. I want to do that. Blah, 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 because they feel inspired. It's like when you see something, you're like, yeah, I want to do that, right? I want to be academically trained. I mean, I want to paint. but then they're like, I'm not academically trained. And I'm like, well, it doesn't matter. I'm not academically trained. By choice. Maybe not by choice. I was a rebel when I was younger. But that didn't stop me from training, from going into museums, shadowing other artists, visiting, watching seminars, buying immense amount of books on art theory, on value, on this, on that. I trained myself, and I didn't do this for a little bit of time. I did this for years. I trained myself. So what I'm trying to tell you is, look, just because you're not academically trained doesn't mean that you can't move forward. By all means, of course, you can. But you still have to train. And many artists believe that they don't have to train. So some artists tell me, oh, look, man, I want to paint and blah, blah, I want to do what you're doing. And I'm like, oh, okay, cool, yeah, just keep doing it. But my artwork's not selling. Your artwork's not selling, maybe because, I've talked in other messages, other videos. Maybe your price is off, or your, audience, or this or that, or you're not connecting with the audience, or whatever, But then I see the artwork, and I'm not trying to be judgy. There's nothing wrong with the artwork. The art itself, right? I understand that they're trying to do something, right? But you can see the skill level. The skill level is very low. And it's not because they're bad or because of anything. It's just because they haven't practiced. That's all. So they're like, I don't know what's happening. My stuff's not selling. Your stuff's not selling because you're not trained. You're not training. Okay? That's all it means. And now if you're trained and your stuff's not selling, you have another problem. I'll talk about it in other videos. Maybe you're not trying to sell, okay? So let's cut that part. Maybe you're not trying to sell. Maybe you're trying to, just enjoy it, right? You do it for fun. You're a hobbyist. You don't have to be trained. Now, it would serve you really nice if you train yourself, whether it's academically or, whatever. I mean, you don't have to be academically trained. It would serve you really well if you go and train academically by the book. under an art instructor, that would serve you really well. Of course it would. Why not? You know, you're learning something. But I did it so much on my own. I trained so much on my own that I got to a point where I was like, no, I'm not gonna go and learn someone else's, you know, path when I've already painstakingly created my own. Painstakingly created my own. So, anyways, just because you're not academically trained, I know I'm hammering it. I know I'm really hammering it, but you know, hear me out. Please hear me out. It does not mean you don't have to train. You do have to train. If you want to get good at what you're doing, at your craft, you have to train daily. You have to keep learning. You have to constantly expand and learn. You have to keep learning, and that means that you have to train yourself. You have to constantly be painting and making this, you know, those mistakes and working through them and learning and all of that stuff. You have to learn about your theory, your color theory, however it is that you do it, but it has to be a training. It has to be a daily training, or however good you want to get. I don't know, maybe it's a weekly training. It doesn't matter. But you do have to train. There's no way around it. There is no way around it. I know some artists contact me and they're like, dude, something's going on. There's nothing going on. You're just not doing it constantly. You're not training. That's all. That's really what's going on in the beginning, okay? After that, then you have other challenges, but we're not talking about those right now. My name is Jose Trujillo. I am the world's greatest artist, living artist. I know that. There's some great artists out there, but I have to say who I am. Thank you so much for watching. Till next time.